don't know, son. Like, we can't even trust Girl Scout cookies anymore.
This is what I've heard.
It hurts my feelings because I just had like 3 boxes of Thin Mints the other day.
Before we get too far, we got Emma with us today. Say hi, Emma.
Hi.
So
She gonna be real quiet. She got a new mic, but like
Testing out the new mic.
so cookies.
uh-huh.
What do we find in them?
All kinds of shit.
Basically stuff that you find in like weed killer. But the weird thing is though, there's a lot of things that can cause the autism, but I'm not sure on. Autism, like air pollution, can also cause autism.
Mhm.
So buy the cookies, man. Why are you trying to take our cookies?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's just a decrease in like testosterone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This chemical imbalances. It's the same fanatic of how people say vaccines are a cause of autism and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on, I guess, what like you're actually considering it, because I noticed like in 24 and still in 25, like everybody that has a tick, all of a sudden has autism.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, sometimes people just do that,
Yeah.
But
Sometimes people just like having fun.
yeah,
You know.
I mean, and I say that growing up with an autistic brother, that it is a disability and it's something I take serious and I take personal, but
And then
Yeah.
me growing up with an autistic sister, I get it.
Yeah, so yeah, like so whenever somebody does something that's just kind of like off kilter and I'm like, that's my tism. I'm like, okay, we're not code wording this shit.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I don't know. But Girl Scout cookies,
I'm still gonna eat them.
Still gonna eat them because honestly, 90% more autism and stuff like that. It's just genetics. It's hereditary.
well, and they said that the stuff in it was from like Roundup, and that shit doesn't kill anything anyway. So as far as I can tell, it's a flavor packet.
Yeah.
So I've tried
What's
it.
your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
I mean, I classic Thin Mint, but the chocolate peanut butter ones.
Depends on how you consume it, though. Do you freeze it? Because frozen peanut butter ones are so good
If they're
in the freezer.
frozen, yeah, it is different.
I've never had the frozen peanut butter.
Oh, will you eat them like room temperature, like a barbarian, or
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
boy,
I buy them, and as soon as I make it to the car out of Walmart,
Oh,
crack them
no.
open.
no, take them home, freeze them for like 2 days.
I can't wait that long, man.
Oh,
It's like get that from your mom because your mom was saying how she gets the Sam's Club big sushi tray and she eats like 50% of it on the way home.
Yeah.
how you doing that soy sauce?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Just
just filling up a cup holder,
I guess.
just dunking it. Yeah. Not a bad idea.
Not a good one.
A little
Not paying
saran wrap.
Not paying attention, just eat a whole chunk of wasabi.
Oh,
Ooh.
I
As Tomater said, it was pistachio ice cream.
well, I was out at the Japanese steakhouse,
Yep.
and for whatever reason, I just kind of lost where I was, and I just seen this green stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, guacamole,
Oh,
the whole chunk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, guacamole.
You know how macho I was on that date because I'm
Yeah.
like, so yeah.
you need the milk?
Had the shit face the rest of the night.
That's excuse me.
I just lit my ass on fire.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
Speaking of good food,
Mm-hmm.
the good old Roadhouse. We had an attempt on trying their food.
I had 2 different kinds of pizzas. What pizza did you guys have?
We had pepperoni and bacon.
I had the Dalton,
Yeah.
which is extra pepperoni, extra cheese, basically, from what I could gather. Had it hand tossed, and
Yeah.
then
That's what we had was hand tossed.
I had a thin crust. Yeah, the polar bear fell on me, I think is what it's called on the menu, and there's Canadian bacon and pineapple. The Dalton I thought was good.
Yep.
The Canadian bacon and pineapple. The So I would have to eat the cheese, the ham, and the pineapple in one sitting, and then the tomato and the crust in another one. Like it
Yeah.
just separated the whole time.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? Like, let's just go one. We can rank them. 5 in Jasper,
Okay.
but there's 5 pizza places now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Roadhouse falling?
Well,
For me,
I
Roadhouse falls 3, but
I personally grew up on Simple Simons because that's all Seneca had was a Simple Simons, and that's where everybody went after school. Personally, Michigan style with their pizzas, which is toppings on bottom, cheese on top.
mhm,
Kind of like it slides off because of sauce.
yeah.
That's the one takeaway that I got from. But either way, it was really good. Didn't taste like frozen dough or anything. It tasted really fresh and was like deli style cheese.
Yeah. I liked it, but it wasn't for me. It was number 3 out of the 5.
For me,
Well, hold on. I didn't know there were 5. I thought there was only 4. What are the 5?
well, you got Grand Avenue.
Yeah.
Then you got Pete's.
Hmm.
You got
Roadhouse.
Judy's,
Oh, Judy's.
Roadhouse, and Subway even makes a pizza.
Breakfast pizzas, I think, but not like actual.
Oh.
Yeah, you can get like the actual one, but it's on like the flatbread or something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I still count it. Well, I mean, we can take it off because there's not actual pizza.
Well,
It's pizza-ish.
where does it fall for your ranking?
Roadhouse falls at 4.
Really?
Yeah, because of the whole cheese sauce sliding off thing.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm eating a pizza, not a sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
Like that. To me, that's unacceptable for a pizza.
I haven't had the Judy's one.
That's the only reason why it's at 4 because I haven't had the Judy's one, and
Mhm.
I'm on Judy's strike. So,
Yeah.
like the likeliness of me getting one.
Well, it's not even technically Judy's. It's the gas station next to it, and Judy's doesn't even make it. It's a different brand. But
Yeah, but I would still have to go there, and I don't go there.
yeah,
That's that's the only problem I have with it.
for me, right, my ranking goes number 1, Grand Avenue.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very good, fresh. Not particularly great warmed up in the microwave like the next night. Almost nothing is. But the night you're eating it,
Hmm.
a couple hours later, even, whew, number 1. Number 2, got Pete's Simple Simons. Classic, good. Not Grand Avenue good, but good. And then right after that would be Roadhouse. I haven't had the 2 others, so they're just off 4 or 5, whatever.
Well, I'm gonna go Grand Avenue because it's the best one, like in town.
Yeah.
For me, it ain't even close because I don't know. I just like it. But as far as like chain pizza, I mean, I would put pizza above Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Disagree.
I don't know. There's something about it, especially whenever you get like that one dude. Yeah, I don't know his name, but there's this dude definitely smokes weed for sure. Because the way he made the last pizza, it was it. Yeah, like I hope they don't ever drug test him because I mean this shit
He's
came
damn
out
good.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was good. Like he was on it. Um, and then after that, I would put the Subway one because I mean it's not even it's pizza, but it's not even pizza, but
Mhm.
it's consistent at least.
Yeah.
And you can eat it like without wearing it.
Yeah.
And then you get into Roadhouse because you got to fight it to eat it. Like if I
Yeah.
got to have a knife and a fork for a pizza, it's not really a pizza.
Mhm.
And then I just haven't had Judy's, so that's 5.
If you had like an actual Simple Simons restaurant pizza instead of one outside of a gas station
Mhm.
having shipped in frozen dough, I think you would.
Yeah, so I couldn't tell you.
Also, buffet like the Pizza Hut in Lamar.
Yeah.
Did you say it's in Seneca?
Hmm?
Like at the actual restaurant?
Yeah, they have an actual. I think maybe I haven't been there in years, so might have closed down. They might have moved it to the barbecue restaurant. Last I heard, but there's one
Yeah, we drove by the one in Joplin.
Yeah.
as
And
Wow.
I've been to that one. That was really good.
Well, then I think we need to road trip it up. I mean, I didn't know that it was an actual restaurant, so I would love to try it.
I didn't know it until her.
Childhood classic. Especially with Dairy Queen. I still remember when it was still a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And that would be like family night dinner at Dairy Queen because they still had the $5 boxes and $5 straight up.
You know what I really miss? Jim Dandy's.
Yeah.
Jim Dandy's was the shit.
But that is.
It used to
Well,
be an old pizza place here in Jasper whenever I was a kid.
yeah.
I heard that one of the restaurants that was before Grand Avenue, some people owned it and they had to get shut down because they just had a bunch of cats in the back. Like just a horde of cats.
I didn't hear about that, but
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah.
was that the person that used the Jim Dandy's place for a little bit?
I don't know. I'd hate to call anybody out for that, but
Yeah.
I know who it is.
it seems,
Well, don't.
yeah,
I'm not. I know who it
it
is.
seems familiar. But now Danny, who had it originally, that place was immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I had birthdays there. It was
yeah.
good.
Well, I wish I went then.
It was amazing.
Oh yeah, and his mom used to work there whenever she was younger,
Yeah.
and yeah, the salads were good, not healthy, not healthy by no means.
I think I did have the salad like once or twice, and I remember it being pretty good too.
Yeah.
And whenever a kid likes salad, that's a pretty damn good salad.
Well, it was a pizza, but instead of using crust, it was just salad.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it's just you had all the regular
See,
pizza
I actually don't
toppings.
remember that.
Yeah, like the cheese was the same cheese you use for the pizza.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you put way too much on it. It was so good.
I think the main thing I remember from Jim Dandy's was the sausage
Yeah.
on their pizza. It was like perfect, seasoned good. You know, it was just good.
So how is the pregnancy coming along?
Yeah. Really tiresome and slow.
Is that more because of him? Because he moved in?
No.
So,
I don't know. It feels like it's kicking my butt. I know it's going to be a lot worse, heavier. I already feel heavy. But it's just every day I just want to stay in bed and just sleep all day. Like you
You've been
could
really
probably
emotional too.
that too.
Good and bad.
But you could probably tell like earlier I was yawning like every 2 seconds. I had huge bags under my eyes. I was really about to pass out.
Little sleepy.
A little sleepy. Like I'm just knocked the fuck out with melatonin in my system.
so are you gonna be in the delivery room?
Yeah.
You are.
Well, it's my baby. Of course I ain't gonna be there.
Well, back in the day, you know, the guys just waited outside.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna be there.
I feel like you're gonna pass out.
I'm not squeamish. You keep saying that. I'm not squeamish. The
If
blood
I
and
don't have a
stuff.
C-section, you're gonna see everything.
I don't have to look at it.
You will.
You're still
don't
gonna
have
see it.
to.
You're
You
still
will.
gonna see everything. Like the placenta, the baby, everything.
Oh well, yeah, but I don't. The
Even
only
if-
thing that would probably freak me out is seeing like this melon come out of you, and that'd probably be the.
Dude, that's the most normal thing that you will see. Like, because you're expecting the head to come out.
Yeah,
It's everything else.
yeah.
But you're not expecting everything else to come out.
Yeah. You will find yourself apologizing profusely.
I already have been, man. She's like all these things that she's been like upset about or emotional about. I'm like, I'm so sorry I did this to you.
Your mom made me go to a Lamaze class, and we only
Yeah.
went to the one because I think I embarrassed her. Because like we sat there and we were watching this video. Like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch this video of the birth," and like every like video I've ever seen of like somebody giving birth, it's very much like a cinematic cut.
Mm-hmm.
This was raw dog documentary.
Yeah.
It's like they're up in there, like they
Ugh.
work for ESPN or something. Like they're getting all the collision.
You're
Yeah.
gonna go elbow deep in my.
That's pretty much what
Please
they
mark
were
that timestamp.
at. What are you gonna do? Bleep it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, how else are they gonna get the placenta out?
so we're sitting there watching it, and I just got like, I mean, my jaws dropped because I'd never seen like I've watched cows give birth, cats, dogs, whatever, like that's, no, I never seen this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, with animals, it kind of just falls out. Like with cows, the whole sack and everything just right on the ground.
well, yeah, I mean that happens too, but like I don't know, it was just different.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like like there's like if you watch like a dog get put down,
Yeah.
it's not the same as watching a person get put down, right?
Nope.
So I'm sitting there watching this, jaws wide open and everything, and I just like look over at your mom like, I am so fucking sorry. Like, and like it was the most sincere thing I have ever said in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I am so fucking sorry. So
Are you gonna make me go to one of those
What?
Le Mans class?
I personally don't want to watch somebody give birth. I'm just gonna wait because I know I'm the pass the fuck out if I watch that.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we went to one, and I don't think the nurses, basically on the spot training on that one, like,
Yeah. I remember the whole. Yeah, I remember that. That's all I know.
Yeah, dude, that shit changes every year. Like, and now they're one like, it's
Yeah.
like, why are we remixing? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like Kendrick is fucking trying to go against us here. So,
We need you to sing "Not Like Us"
yeah.
and then push.
Um.
And scream.
So, who all's going to be in the room?
He personally doesn't want anybody in there but himself.
Well, and you and the doctors.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah. Like, you're the
Yeah,
guest.
be a smart ass.
So,
Hey,
what are you doing?
I'm there. It's my baby.
I'm being supportive.
Yeah.
No, you should definitely be in there.
Uh-huh.
But are you guys agreeing on that, or?
I mean, personally, people are gonna think that's weird, but I personally want my dad there because I mean he's been there for everything that I've been through, especially when I got my finger cut off.
Mm-hmm.
He was the reason for it. But he said, "Nope, done it 3 times. I am free and done. I'm not witnessing. I'm not doing that again."
I think because like you said, I don't want anybody in the delivery room except for me.
Mhm.
But I feel like if your dad like really, really, really wanted to, he'd probably be the only person I'd be okay with being in there. Because he would handle it like an adult. My dad would be like, "Oh my god," or making jokes the whole time,
A
or
joke.
doing
Oh
something.
my god,
Your
did
dad would
I
take it seriously.
No, did I tell you? So the first birth, this made my this made my grandpa hate my dad. So my mom had 3 C-sections for all kids because something went wrong. Um, and as they're wheeling my mom out to go to surgery, he's like, "It's okay, honey, it's ready to slice and dice. We're going now." And my
Oh
mom's
man.
like, "Oh,
Oh.
my grandpa
Oh.
heard that." And he's like, "What is wrong with you?"
I mean, I'm a joker at inopportune times because it's like, like I gotta say something to make it not seem so serious to me.
Yeah.
Like to
I'm the
That's
same way. I know I'm gonna make some joke that's gonna piss you off, but
keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
he can. It's genetic, hon. Like
if
it's
I said slice and dice, would that not be funny?
No,
no.
Okay.
absolutely.
Like I would look at you and be like, bruh.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with it?
My dad still thought it was, till this day, hilarious.
I think it's
But
so
no,
funny.
you're
We
you
all
need-
laughed.
No, it's funny now, but you're trying to calm your wife down. You don't.
Figure it out.
So let's say that you can't make it.
Make it to the delivery room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some odd reason. Some
There's some odd reason that I shouldn't be a father at all,
well,
but
no, like you magically got transported to another realm, or
Yeah.
you're adopted by aliens, whatever the reason may be.
Okay.
Because like,
Who would
here,
you be okay with?
Well, your dad said he doesn't want to, so he's
yeah,
off the list.
but if you're gone, you would step in for it.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on who's there, I guess.
I personally don't have anybody else besides my dad.
I think it would next in line would go your dad, and if he still didn't want to, no.
No.
I think my nana.
No, fuck that. I
Really?
would rather have your mom. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with Nana?
I love your Nana, but I'd rather your mom is born more of a mom to me. I occasionally see, but me and your Nana are not that close for her to.
No, you're not.
I don't know what your Nana.
I guess that does make more sense for my mom to be there. Yeah. Okay.
I'd rather have your mom guard by my downstairs than your Nana. I would feel bad for your Nana.
Well, like I don't know, like I could see like how they've been through it. So like there is no scarring or anything, you know.
My
Like
Nana's probably seen more than anybody we know. With all her kids as kids and then her
Think
kids
about it if she
alone.
gets dementia, and then she'll forget about it.
That's terrible.
but
I'm sorry. I
well,
really don't.
your mom would be a good one. Like I mean, you know, she could be supportive and she knows what she's going through.
Yeah.
You know, like you're gonna be taking your best guess,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So just remember to apologize, hold the hand,
Yeah.
try not to look in the rearview mirror because there is a rearview mirror down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I break your
That's fine. You can't break my hand. You can barely lift the trash bag out of the can.
No, no, really the important question that I'm wanting to ask, because it affects me more. What kind of cigars are we smoking after?
not smoke.
It's just one cigar.
You say one.
It's tradition.
I'll make sure it stays at one.
Yeah, because
I
I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you because
I'll pinky promise it.
I'm not buying a bunch of expensive cigars.
No, it'll be two nice ones.
No, it'll be 3
Who's the third?
for her dad,
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
because it'll be the grandpa's and the new dad.
Yeah.
Well, if you smoke cigars,
Well, you don't really smoke cigars. You
Kinda
just
Well, yeah.
you
enjoy
taste
'em.
them.
but I don't really know.
Well, he'll be offered.
Yeah, and
Maybe-
you
maybe-
never finish it. You never finish a cigar.
No, you
I
get
mean-
maybe 30% into it.
Because I mean, we do have to walk like halfway across the parking lot of the hospital so nobody can see us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so but yeah, it's like a tradition and something that I think that
It's much more it's a very Italian tradition,
I mean it was
like
always,
most mobsters.
it was the standard. Like back
See,
in
this
the
is my
day.
first hearing about it outside of like mobster movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean you go back to like watching like any like 50s, 60s, 70s TV show. The dude was never in the delivery room. The guy just waited to hear the news, and then as soon as you know, like the baby's born, then like you know, and back then you could smoke in the hospital.
Yeah.
You lit up a cigar, and like you go to that little window, and which one is he? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah.
We should definitely do that though. She doesn't like me smoking, and I don't smoke. But that'll be the one exception. I feel like it's a pretty good exception. And then whenever the grandkid's born,
It's a celebration and a bonding thing. You know, it's like a dude thing.
are you allowing it?
I guess. I just don't like the habit of it.
She's gonna be like drugged up and exhausted.
She won't remember.
Yeah, like
That's a good question. Are you gonna be drugged up, or are you gonna do it all natural? Like you're gonna get an epidural, or are you gonna?
I don't know. Really bad. Sorry. I honestly don't know. Depends on if I can handle the pain.
Okay, so she's gonna be drugged at the ass.
yeah, well, because I
I can
think
handle certain things. Like I've had my finger cut off. I've had my basically my head cracked open by a ceiling fan.
I bumped your knee that had a bruise on it, like barely,
Okay,
and you
well-
almost cried. You almost
Well-
cried.
Right now, I don't know. My knees have been like my feet have been swollen, and then that one time you had a bandage up my knee because it just felt broken.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I had one of my kids at work whacking my knee with a giant plastic weird spinny thing, just knocking my funny bone around. And yeah, it's gonna hurt the next day when you knock it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, don't be a baby. I'm like, I'm sorry. I want to see if I can drop a hammer on your knee. You'll be okay the next day.
Yeah.
That's not me being mad. I'm not mad. It's just, I'm not being a baby about it.
I would defer back to his mom. She's done both. She's done the drugs and she's done natural. So
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know she did both. I thought she only did one or the other.
No, she's done. I want to say Jamie. It was natural.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure he was the biggest baby of all of them.
No, I think she said you were the biggest
Yeah.
baby.
Was I?
yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
That's a lot.
But yeah, she's done both. So I mean, she'll be able to tell you the pros and cons of both. I mean, me myself, if I gotta go through it, I'm gonna be drugged up like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah.
The one thing
You're saying that came out of me?
one thing I don't agree on is doctor giving you something so you can give birth right then and there just because their schedule is busy when your due date is.
Mhm.
I can't think of the medical term right now because baby brain.
Yeah, it just induces
But-
labor.
Induce, yeah. They want to induce you just because it's inconvenient to them that your due date is that day and that week. I'm like, then give me a new fucking doctor because I'm not doing that shit.
It's all about the money. You know, they're trying to be efficient, and because they make more money doing it that way.
And we're gonna do the whole like wait until the umbilical cord is white. Remember we
Mhm.
talked about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
What?
if you don't wait until the umbilical cord is turned white, then like whenever you're giving birth, the umbilical cord stays like a reddish pinkish color, and that's showing that it's transferring stuff still to the baby, like nutrients and whatnot, and like oxygen and whatever. And you're supposed to wait until it's white, until you're supposed to cut it, because then you're cutting off extra nutrients that could be helping the baby like to keep it alive.
Yeah.
And it can be really dangerous if you don't wait till it's white. But a lot of people in hospitals and whatnot, they're trying to get going, moving along, getting it over there to go get washed so mom can have it and start breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to rush you on not waiting to cut it. And then we've done like actual research on it, and like real doctors often say to wait until it's turned white. It's the parent's choice, but they nurses like to be like, oh no, we're doing it now. And I seen one time there was this guy that was like trying to stand up for what his wife wanted, which was for it to wait till it was white.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse was like, no, cut it now. And I was like, no, like, we're gonna wait. And the nurse just took the scissors and cut it.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think they got sued, and it was a big thing. But yeah,
Are you cutting the umbilical cord?
I'd like to. Yeah, I feel like that's a big part of the dad.
It is.
So yeah, shouldn't be any reason why I shouldn't.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to let me know how that was.
I remember you telling me about it. It's
Yeah.
like cutting through a rubber hose.
Yeah.
Like you have to gnaw through it a little bit.
Like it's different.
Yeah.
Like, like I cut your umbilical cord, and that was the only like I was like I guess in shock or whatever for a lot of the things that I saw. Like, but I wasn't squeamish on any of it
Yeah.
until I got to the umbilical cord,
Yeah.
and I cut it, and I was just like, oh, like because like I felt like I was like cutting your mom,
Yeah.
or I was cutting you.
Yeah.
And like there's like isn't somebody supposed to be screaming right now?
Yeah.
And it felt so weird, and like just the you could feel the texture through the scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I've seen a video one of my friends posted or something like that had a kid recently, posted them cutting the umbilical cord because they got it on video.
Hmm.
And it looked really weird.
Yeah, I swear to God, if you have your phone out videoing that thing, hey, if you want it videoed, I mean that's been a thing for a long time. That's another good reason to have somebody else in there.
Mhm.
But
I don't know about like videoing the birth,
I
but
don't know if I want that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that used to be a thing where like you have like your family buddy come in there.
Yeah.
They got the RCA shoulder mounted camera.
Yeah. What do you think
Your
about
hoo-ha's giving a press conference.
what do you think of like someone or like a nurse or something videoing just like me and you, like seeing the baby for the first time? What do you think about that?
Nurse is a little busy for that.
Yeah.
Well, you can like set the phone in the corner and it's not showing your hoo-ha or anything. It's just me and you. What do you think about that? I'm not saying I want to or not. I'm just asking what you think about it.
I think about it more.
Yeah.
You could you could set up like your phone to like put it up in the corner and all that and just let it go.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get something good, maybe not, but
Video of you passing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my head hit the wall.
Big ol'
Like I would not be surprised if
Oh,
like the nurse came
there
out.
you go.
Hey, we need a pitch hitter here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big man down, big man down.
that it done fell. So
Hope not. I'd feel terrible. Like after you go through all this like pain and agony and me doing nothing, just sleeping on the floor. I'd feel so bad.
I can't wait for like the first diaper is amazing.
Yeah, or it's black.
Yeah, it's road tar.
I heard that put Vaseline and stuff on your baby's little bottom. It'll help him pass the first poop a lot better.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
Well, he didn't have a problem passing it. It was more about problem containing it.
Yeah.
Like, like Huggies are only so big,
Yeah.
But yeah, that first one, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like questioning his mom, like, what did you eat?
Had those black corn tortillas chips.
But I don't think so I don't want you guys to think I'm like not super involved or anything like that, but like so I'm not like a baby grandpa. You know what I mean? Like newborn, like I'm kind of like
You rather have it when it starts walking and stuff.
because I know they're not breakable.
Mhm.
I know when they're like an infant that they are the most resilient that they'll ever be.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
still
yeah,
still
like
scares the hell out of me.
they don't have, like, actual knees until, like, a while, and so I seen this video of, like, this toddler trying to walk, and his leg is just all backwards bent and just, like, all jiggly because he
I've
doesn't
seen
have
those.
knees.
Oh.
Oh my god, just fix his leg already.
Because I'm super excited for a grandkid. I really am. It's just I don't want you guys thinking that like, oh well, he's not really into it for some reason. I am. I'm just scared to death of hurting the baby. So
That's how I am. Like I've never like all of my friends that have had babies, I have not even visited the baby until it was like 8 months old.
Yeah.
like Colin, like one of my best friends, if not my best friend, I didn't go see his baby until it was like 7 or 8 months old.
Yeah.
I was like, I want it to be like no limp, nothing.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a baby. It can't be this sweet little tender piece of something. If I drop it, it's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
It's got to have like some resilience ready.
In reality, you could bounce them like a basketball probably, and they'd be all right. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. It's just like they're like, oh, they're so weak, they're so tiny.
Seen this
Yeah.
video of one of the like labor nurses,
hmm
like baby's out, just got the umbilical cord, drops it straight on the operating floor, picks it right up, nothing's wrong. I was like fresh out the oven, and it's still just all right.
Well, it's the best time because everything's still doughy.
Yeah,
So it all goes back because like the skull isn't even formed
yeah.
until like way later. But I mean,
It scared the hell out of me.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I just watched a baby die on TikTok. That's terrible.
yeah,
And it's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm like, huh?
yeah.
Is it flubber? What's going on here?
I mean, we have this 2-month-old at my other workplace, and if you just kinda, like, hold him up, just kinda, like, have him have a little tummy time, his neck just goes everywhere. He's a floppy thing. But when they're still too much, you still gotta kinda cup their head and their back and stuff, make sure they have good support. I was about to flip shit on one of my coworkers because she, like, kinda, like, she cupped her hands under his shoulders and tried to pick him up by the shoulders
Yeah.
instead of, like, cupping his head. I'm like, "You better grab his head right now or you are about to get smacked the fuck out." Like, he cannot support his head right now, and he's just gonna, like, go his
Mhm.
head's gonna go backwards,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna be good for his neck.
How do you guys feel about sports whenever the kid gets older? Is that a big thing for you guys, or
I mean, growing up in a sports family, it's more what the kid wants, I guess. Like, I don't wanna force him to do anything. I mean, when they're younger, like 4 or 5, definitely set them up with gymnastics first so they can get their balance stuff, the exercise they need, run around in a trampoline park.
Mm.
But if they say, like oh, but I want to try something different now. Like, okay, what do you want to try now? You want to do like baseball, football? Like, what do you want to do? Just let them be.
I personally think that I like whenever I was growing up, you had us boys. We had to do one sport every year,
Yeah.
and as a kid, I really hated that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do a sport every year. Like, I just chill out. I just want to hang out with my friends, go do stuff, you know.
Hmm.
And looking back, I'm really happy that you did that
Yeah.
because I was able to take the opportunity on a lot of memories I would have missed out on. A lot of memories that, like, for me, who has like really bad memory,
Hmm.
is one of the few like kind of memories I have that I like cannot forget. They were so impactful, and I
Yeah.
really happy about it. So I don't know if you disagree or not, but I think that our kids should do some kind of extracurricular every year. It doesn't have to be a
Mm.
sport. It doesn't have to be like a club. Just they need to do something
Oh
else.
yeah, no, like do fucking art. Go draw at the library
Yeah,
or something. Like do something else at least.
yeah, like a
But I
book
de-
club, chess club. You know,
Well,
they need to
it.
do something other than
but
just go to school.
I definitely don't want them to be set up with the anxiety that I had growing up because I want to have the money to be able to support them with all these decisions because I don't want them growing up thinking I'm going to disappoint mom or dad because I just don't want to do this anymore. It's going to be a waste of money. I definitely don't want that on them.
Well, like the sports was picked because of the like all the rules that came with it. You know, like
Discipline.
yeah, like it was all very structured. You
Mm.
know, there was time frames, there was this, there was that, there was expectations to be met. There was going to be disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, so there, you know, like you were going to have good and bad experiences with both. Um, One thing that I mean, it's going to be your guys' kids, so inevitably you guys do whatever you want. But for me, like whenever the kids were younger, they didn't get a whole lot of decisions. You know, like they didn't get to decide on. They could have their opinion, and they could tell me what they wanted, but you know, um, I softened up as the kids got older, and I probably should have held on just a little bit longer on being an ass.
Yeah.
but But inevitably, though, like that's what you want. Like you want, you know, just guide them in the first half, and then kind of see what they do on the second half. So
I agree on like the opinion thing. I mean, kids they thrive on a lot of things, especially when it comes to can't say the word right, but
Decisions.
yeah. Because it could still be your
Decision.
ultimately because you can give them two options and it still makes them think like they're in control of what they're getting when it's ultimately you letting them. It's hard to explain. Like say your kid goes into baseball, but you don't want them to go willy nilly on like the shoes and the bats and stuff. You can pick out like what bats you want them to like give them two options like you want this one or this one. They think it's gonna be their decision. They think they're in control. I don't know. Hard to explain, but
I think another good way of handling that would be to like it could help them teach them how to handle money.
that too, yeah.
Like give them a budget of
That's
what
what I
they're
was
allowed
going
to
with, yeah.
spend. Like you can
Mhm.
either dump a lot of money on cleats and get like some other cheaper equipment, or you could spread it all out and have middle of the road everything. I think that's a good way of doing it
I
too.
wasn't ever afraid of giving you guys money. Like with like for you, like whenever you would ask me, like, oh, can I get candy? And I'll give you, like, well, you have this much money, and if you can buy less than what you have, then you can have it. If you go over, you got to put it all back.
Yeah.
I definitely though want an agreement when it comes to money between me and you because growing up, two different parents, two different mindsets on how money goes and how money spreads. One being all willy nilly, not paying attention to the bills and stuff, and just letting you buy whatever, and the other one being very hard and very demanding on when you can spend it, how you spend it.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to be so it's not an argument in front of the kid.
I agree with that. We should keep our arguments and disagreements behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for sure. But like you gotta like support each other, like united front, kind of deal.
Yeah.
But who's gonna nurture and who's gonna be the discipline? I think that's always important.
I feel like you're gonna be more disciplined because of my line of work, and I've had the college lectures and everything, and the doctor lectures on how kids are raised and how they can grow in certain environments because if it's really harsh environment of argumentative parents not getting the love that they need, they're very fight or flight when it comes to them getting in trouble for certain things that they don't understand that they're getting in trouble for. And then they start biting, they start hitting, kicking.
Yeah, I definitely think I'll be the disciplinary and you'll be the more nurturing because you definitely have a lot more insight and more knowledge of how to nurture and be the like quote unquote perfect mother. I
Yeah.
mean, neither one of us are going to be perfect parents, but
Mhm.
I have a feeling you're going to be a lot closer than I will be. And that's why you should have the more, I guess, the more delicate role of
I
nurturing. And then I'm pretty good with like finding rules that are fair and
mhm.
making sure that they're met. So I feel like I'll be better at that.
Like, I definitely wanna teach you on certain topics and, like, show you certain ways on how to do something different than your perspective is right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're going to teach me plenty, and I'll probably teach you quite a bit too.
Mhm.
Like even in our relationship, so far, you've taught me a lot, and I've taught you a lot.
But ultimately, it's down to what my dad always says, it's like, "You're their parent, you're not their best friend. You don't They can't look to you as a best friend.
Yeah.
You're there to set their rules, their boundaries, and ultimately just have them grow up to prepared for adult life."
I think the biggest problem I'm going to have with it is I know there's going to be a lot of times where they're going to be like, "Dad's an asshole." Like, "Dad, you're such a dick,"
You get
things.
used to it.
Yeah. That's the thing that I'm kind of worried about is if I don't get used to it. Like, I'm still gonna feel bad, but I hope I do get used to it so I can be better at sticking to my guns and like making sure that I'm doing what's best for them.
Well, as long as you don't have emotion behind it.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't spank your kid because you're emotional because you're mad.
Yeah.
You spank them because they done something wrong.
Yeah.
And it's corrective action, not because you're frustrated. You
Yeah.
know.
Corrective instead of instinctive.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. Like for me, it was always like the dad turns the emotions off for the kids, and the mom nurtures the emotion.
Yeah.
Because there's times like I don't know, like whenever kids at the doctor, right?
Hmm.
And the doctor needs to look at something. And the kid is scared, of course, and is trying to defend itself the best way it can.
Hmm.
Well, that's the time, it needs to turn the emotion off. Like, I know you're scared. Get through it. You'll be scared later after.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, for that took a lot of threatening. So, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know how many times you guys heard, do we need to go outside?
Yeah.
And
Even though we only went outside like maybe twice,
yeah, yeah,
and it was just the threat of it.
yeah.
Like I feel like I know me and Emma have talked about like not inciting fear into the kids,
Mhm.
but I think there is a certain amount of fear that is necessary.
Like
Like fear is in respect, not as in like scared of their.
cowering corner. Like, I don't
Yeah,
want them to say they do something and their immediate thought is, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna hit me." They're scared
it
and
should never be a thought.
should never breathe. And I think that also comes with, like, the generational trauma. Like, because my dad, he was very harsh in his teachings, but because of how he was raised sometimes by his dad, softened his ways with his kids. Like, he told me once that he was eating dinner with his dad one night, over there to visit. And I think he said he was like 12 or something at the time, and he thought the dinner was really good, so he starts licking the plate clean. And his dad threw the plate on the floor, and he's like, if you're gonna eat like a dog, you're gonna eat where the dogs eat.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a good way. I mean, that's maybe a little on the extreme side, but that's
Mhm.
pretty good way of teaching a kid to like have good table manners. It does make sense.
But for my dad, instead of doing that, his instinct is to just pop you in the mouth, hit you up against the head instead of throwing your plate on the floor and having you eat like a dog.
I think there's gonna be flicking in our household.
There's definitely flicking.
We're gonna do some flicking.
Flicking. I don't like hitting kids.
No,
It's definitely
not.
not something I
I don't
can.
think popping them in the mouth or popping them on the
Mhm.
head. I don't think we're gonna do that. Spanking
Mhm.
only when it's absolutely necessary, and then flicking will be definitely.
No, I think you should try to think outside the box with certain punishments. Like, just don't be the immediate thought of spank them, because like say they throw the plate on the floor because they're throwing a tantrum, and my dad's immediate thought would be put them over their knee, spank them. My thought would be make them understand what they did, make them clean it up, like you know,
Oh yeah,
get.
spanking's not gonna be the first gun in the like.
Mhm.
That's not gonna be the first go-to.
Because the worst thing a kid wants to do is clean up a mess that they did.
Yeah,
They just want to go to their room and cry.
it's not gonna be the first shot out of the barrel. Is gonna be spanking. Like it's gonna have to be pretty drastic. Like
Yeah.
um, I don't know, like
Up on their mom.
yeah, slapping their mom or stealing something from a store or something like that. That's pretty good reason too. I feel. What? He's having an opinion here.
So your opinion.
Uh, I mean, yeah, you don't want to spank him for everything,
Mhm.
Mm,
but if like break it down into categories, is this a mistake because they don't know any better,
hmm
or is this disrespect? Is this we're not I don't care what your opinion is, Dad.
Yeah.
You told me not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care what you say. That's an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure we're canceled now for sure. But, but like,
An ass whooping and a beating is completely different.
you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I mean, the problem with spanking is that from there you have to escalate higher. Like
Mhm.
now you guys got spanked not nearly as often as what I could have, and maybe not as
You almost never spanked us. Mom was the spanker.
yeah, because I never had to.
Yeah.
Because the times that I did it was enough to where you know, like okay, so whenever you would get in trouble, right, and you you were scared, like even not that long ago, you were like scared to tell me something.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I find your emotional reaction to be scarier than your physical.
Because it's like a disappointing thing.
I mean, it could be. I see it more of as a like, yeah, I guess it would be a disappointing thing. Like, I let my dad down,
Mhm.
and now he's angry enough to act this way, so I did something really wrong.
Right. And I think the reason why you feel that way is because like there was expectations for you guys to be right, to act right, to there was a lot of emphasis on being a man,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. Um but so I mean that's why I didn't have to spank you. Like it used to infuriate your mom that like she would like yell at you guys to do something, and then like I would swing by and they're like, well, they're not cleaning the room. Hey, Colby, go clean your room. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, and then you go clean your room. She
Yeah.
hated that.
Yeah.
It's because we focus more on the respect.
Yeah.
And you guys always respected me. So I think if you guys do that, then you're not really gonna have to spank that much.
I know respect is going to be a pretty big thing with us. Like, even in just our relationship from now, like, we both made it pretty apparent. Like, respect is a very important thing. And then carrying it with the kid is going to be
Yeah.
stronger, I feel. But
I definitely don't want my kids to treat me like how we treated my mother. Looking back, it was kinda like how your mom is. Like, you guys do what Adam says, but you don't really, clean your room when your mom says.
Mhm.
'Cause it was more of my dad doing the punishments and us being scared and more respectful to my dad than our mother. We didn't really have the respect for our mom because she just ultimately, we thought she didn't really care, so we just didn't treat her we would care about something, so we
Yeah.
just didn't listen to her. And I think that ultimately, like, frustrated her a lot when we acted out with her, but we don't act out with our dad.
Yeah. I think one thing that I feel like is not really talked about with like parenting advice I've been given and like online. Um, one thing that I find that's going to be extremely important, which this is not a diss at you, Father,
Okay.
but like I like the bond me and you have now,
Hmm.
but I do think it would have been more like productive or correct, you could say,
Hmm.
if like I want it to be very apparent as a parent that I am not Colby, I am dad. And with mine and your fatherly son bond, I see you more as like nowadays, not as much when I was a kid, but as I've gotten older, it's more of Adam and Colby, not Dad and Colby. Like I see you as a person, not as a um, not as a like statue,
Mythological.
you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Like not such this like higher power I should be like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I have to be so respectful, I have to be this and this.
Well,
Like I want that to be a thing. Like I don't want my kids to know me as Colby. I want them to see me as dad.
there's a time of like that's always going to happen. Like it took longer for me and my dad to get to that, to where I could see him as Gary.
Yeah.
But you know, like it's important to realize that your parents are human.
Yeah.
They have the same wants and desires as anybody else.
Yeah.
And parents are scared.
Mhm.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have done research and all that and trying to prepare yourself the best way that you can. And I know that there's going to be an instance at some point I'm like, oh, fuck that one in the book, you know, like,
Yeah.
like, and you guys will handle it,
Mhm.
because you're prepared on other fronts, and I think you guys have a good head start on it, you know,
Yeah.
so.
I don't think I could ever be in your boat because my dad's always gonna be dad.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely in 18 though, he definitely started talking to me more like an adult instead of a kid, but he still has that fatherly, like, aura about him when it comes to us kids.
Yeah.
Like, definitely, like, that one time I guess, disrespected you
You can tell
once.
you it's fine.
Well, it's just that we have, like a couple of rule that we don't tell each other to shut up. We
Yep.
don't do that, and I did do that to you, and it wasn't very respectful of me.
Mhm.
And I definitely did regret when I said it, like, as soon as it came out, I'm like, "Ah, fuck." And my dad was there, and
Yeah.
as
It
soon
was
as
all
soon
three of
as I
us in the
said it,
room.
he was immediately up out of his chair, and he was, like, over me. He's like, "What'd you just say?
Yeah.
What did you just say to him?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm
It,
sorry."
whenever he did that made me feel really good. Not
Mhm.
because like someone was standing up for me,
Yeah.
but that the respect I have like implemented into our household
Yeah.
makes sense. Like someone agrees with me. That like
And,
meant a
like,
lot to me.
it was just funny because like, 1 second we're talking like normal people, and then the 1 second that I step out of line,
Yeah.
me dad mode.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like you go, Gary, go. Pretty cool.
I don't know. It's gonna be an exciting time, and I don't know. I can't wait to watch. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I know he's gonna like look at me and be all like, "Yeah, okay, maybe you're right." So
Yeah. Gonna be interesting.
Some
man,
fries.
I need a shit.
I need fries, not to shit.
I need
What
the
are you
shit.
I don't wanna hear about that.
where we at time frame was?
We could wrap.
Answer the question.
55.
55? Nah, bad. Yeah, well, considering you got one on deck and she's got one in the oven.
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead and call it. So anyway, have a great week.